Hey guys, and welcome to Vegan Beach Girl. Today I am going to be doing a Q&A get ready with me. So over on Instagram I asked you guys basically if you wanted to do a Q&A, what sort of questions you had to ask, whether or not it was beauty or personal or whatever. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna kind of just do my makeup and I'll answer your questions basically. It's quite weird, I've never really done a Q&A on Instagram before, so I'm feeling a little bit nervous about it. Yeah, I've got a few questions in. So the first question in is, what is my favorite self-care routine for when I'm feeling a bit down or out of sync? I would definitely say running helps me a lot. I've noticed that a lot lately. Particularly I find getting off my phone helps, but there are very few things that really get me off my phone. Running is one of them. I definitely find that really does help a lot. So if I just put on a playlist and go running, and then also kind of just writing in my journal, actually that really helps. If I'm feeling out of sync, I literally just write in my journal, just do whatever, write whatever comes into my head. That typically works really well for me. I think that kind of helps you kind of register your thoughts. Sometimes you can feel really overwhelmed, but you don't really know why. I definitely put that up there. Sometimes I just kind of write down a little life update, and then it'll kind of evolve into me talking about how I feel about things, what's going on in my life. I kind of write it as though I'm writing to a friend, but a friend you are just really honest with. But yeah, I find that really helps. But also running and any form of exercise really, I find really helps ground you. And sometimes just hang out with friends as well, I find that's really good, but that's not so easy right now. Yeah, typically anything that keeps me off my phone, and normally that is socializing, that is writing, or that is running. It helps to realise what gets you off your phone and keeps you off your phone. You can say oh, just watch a movie, but if you have a habit of checking your phone when you're watching a movie, then that's not really going to work for you. So the next question is, have I made any plastic-free swaps in the house, for example cleaning products? Do you know what, not really. Me and Shada have both kind of just brought cleaning products along that we had spare in our own houses, I guess. So we've just got a collection right now, but I know there are a lot of refill stores around here where I've just moved to in Hoxton. So I'm sure once we run out of the current batch of stuff we're using, we'll move on to refilling stuff basically. Totally see myself reflected in this. One thing I am doing though, I've got this I've got an old Lush spritzer and I filled that up with water. So just pretty much use that when it comes to watering the plants, especially the ones which need to be kept in kind of a humid environment. Yeah, I'm really keen to explore kind of the refill options we've got around here, because I think that will be really handy. I think I've seen the Big Faith in Nature refills around here. They're 5-litre refills. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with my makeup today, by the way. I thought I'd just kind of play about. One of the nice things about living in East London is that so many other vegan influencers live around here, and a lot of them have been really nice and been Nicole, do you want to hang out? And I'm oh my god, I can't believe you want to hang out with me. Earlier today I met up with Serena Lee. You might know her best from Vegans of London, and we went for a bit of a wander, but she's got a daughter and she asked if I could bring along some beauty products, stuff that I'm not using anymore, or stuff that's kind of broken or almost out, if there's anything of that I had. And I was I've got a lot of beauty products, but yeah, she was just if you got anything like that, could you bring it along, because she loves to play with that sort of stuff. And I was yeah, sure, not a problem. And her daughter was just covering her face with makeup as we were having our brunch, and it was so cute. And it kind of just reminded me that makeup is fun. Can you believe it? Actually fun. So I thought I'd just have fun with it today and just play about, particularly with eyeshadows. I don't normally do much with my eyes, and it just kind of excited me just seeing her daughter just have a whale of a time makeup, and I was I should do that more. That wasn't even a question though, so I've just really gone off tangent. Someone's asked me about green shaving, looking for non-plastic razors. That is interesting. I have used a safety razor before and I've got a tutorial on it, but I've got to say I don't enjoy them that much. I've actually returned to using friction-free shaving, which I've been using for a long time because they are cruelty-free and vegan friendly. But I think I recently found out that the blades that they get are actually from Gillette, so I'm not really sure how cruelty-free that is, and it's something I've been meaning to kind of deep dive into a little bit more, because I know this is actually a common problem. I imagine it's because razor blades must actually be quite difficult to create. So if you're a small business, you're not going to create your own razor blades. So that seems to be a problem that crops up every time I'm looking to switch. It seems like everyone kind of depends on Gillette. I don't know, it's actually something I really do need to deep dive a little bit more into, because it is an issue. But what I do like about friction-free shaving is that they send you a razor and you subscribe to get replacement heads. That's a lot better than getting like a full razor every time you use a product. And yeah, when I signed up, they definitely said they were cruelty-free, but now I'm a little bit like, oh, I don't really want to be subtly supporting Gillette, so I do need to do more research on that. I think that will be like maybe a blog post, maybe a video topic, but that is actually something I definitely want to explore in more detail and get a better answer back to you on. Do you know what, this is really hard. Think about what you want to do with your makeup as you're answering questions. Like, who knew? Do I think there is anything we can do to get animal testing laws or clear honest labeling? Clear honest labeling, bloody hell, what a task that is. As far as animal testing laws go though, there are animal testing laws. It's just every law is made to be broken according to some businesses, aren't they? So obviously animal testing has been banned in the EU for many a year now. The annoying part of that is that whilst animal testing for cosmetic purposes is banned in the EU, somehow companies are able to sell one product here in the EU where cosmetic animal testing is banned, but then they can still sell in China where that is a legal requirement, and that's all because China tests the products rather than like the company testing the products. And that's just where the complication is and where the frustration is. And this is why we have cruelty-free certifications, because the laws aren't that clear. But even like between the cruelty-free certifications, they can disagree, and like Leaping Bunny is the gold standard versus PETA. PETA are a lot more loosey-goosey about it, and if a company is selling in China and PETA certified, I wouldn't trust them and I wouldn't buy from them. Whereas I know there's at least one company that Leaping Bunny are working with to get into China, Safeway, and it's kind of like a trial period, it's testing. So I like that they're doing that. But yeah, I would definitely trust Leaping Bunny a lot more. But all in all, I sincerely do believe that we are on the cusp of a world free of cosmetic animal testing. In particular, it's China. They will be changing their laws. Things are progressing. I reckon like within the next 5 years, this will be a battle we won't still be fighting. I think there will be other battles we'll be fighting, particularly in ethical beauty and also in animal testing, whether that's in different industries. So I think that's how things will shift. But yeah, beauty, cosmetic, animal testing, I don't think will be such an issue. I think it will be interesting when it comes to, say, beauty procedures like lip fillers and stuff. Like, that's still going to be animal testing because it's actually medical, but it's still cosmetic, so that'll be interesting. So it will still be important to remind people that not everything is cruelty free. But yeah, that's a slightly different conversation once things get medical. So next question is, what is your new job and are you enjoying it, and your new flat? Hey guys, editing Nicole. So the job that I had when I was filming this, I have already left, and I don't want to go too much into details as of why, because I don't think that's really professional to talk about online. But I've kept in quite a bit of the chat anyway, just because I think it's quite interesting. I talk a bit more about like what it means to work as an influencer and kind of like some of the drawbacks, and also some of my other past work experience. So just keep that in mind, that has changed, but I still think a lot of the conversation is still interesting and relevant, I guess. So my new job is not anything particularly high skill, I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty much helping at a slow fashion brand in London, which is really local. It's only 12 hours a week, and I'm just kind of like helping out around the office, like doing stuff like stock counts and packing, and yeah, nothing like too thrilling. It's not anything like the other office jobs I've had in London. It's still like a lot of hard work, like don't get me wrong, but it's not like social media related. Or before that, I was an analyst in London and it's not related to that. I actually used to work in the travel industry, so they're not really hiring right now. But it's really, really nice to know that I have some stable income coming in every month. So where I work as an influencer, I do get the occasional ad, but obviously ad budgets have really been sliced since COVID. I don't have like a rolling contract anymore, so when I quit my job I had like rolling contracts, so there was like an element of stability in the work I was doing, whereas now I don't have any of that. So I can't say like, for example, like, oh, I've definitely got 600 quid coming in every month. I just don't have that anymore. So this is why I've had to go get part-time work again, because it is really important to be able to say I'm at least getting this much a month, and then anything else from ads will be really good. So yeah, that's what's going on there. And also, you asked about the flat. The flat is nice. We are really loving the flat. I think I will do a flat tour, but that will be after this painting goes up. Yeah, you guys can watch my moving vlog if you want to see more of the flat right now, but I will do a flat tour. But we're still waiting on getting a new sofa. The current one is full of moths and bugs and so we're getting a new one. We've been given a budget of like 250, including delivery, so this is the challenge we have. We can't sit on our sofa. It's so annoying because it is just disgusting, and it's really annoying because we just want to curl up and watch a movie some nights, and we can't do that. Another one asked me how I'm settling into my new place. Do you know, it is still really, really lovely though. I'm loving being back in London. I love living with my best friend. So yeah, all in all, it's actually really cool how life has turned, although like financially, ouch, it's expensive. But other than that, so, God, look how dirty this product is. Next question was from one of my uni friends who knew I went on a date this week, and she was asking me how my date was. I'm not saying because my date follows me on social media. I don't know if he watches my YouTube videos, but I feel like he might do this week because he's totally wanting to get a mention. How was my date? Yeah, I will say that it was good, and I can't actually talk about this. I thought I could, I can't, no, nope. Yeah, I feel comfortable saying it was quite odd though, like dating again, particularly like during COVID where we've just had to be very distant from people. I feel like we're very used to our own company again, and I'm not normally one to feel like very self-conscious or vulnerable when dating or anything like that, but in hindsight, the day after I've realized like, oh, I actually definitely felt very like that, I guess. It felt a lot more intense than dating should feel, and I think a lot of that is because of COVID and it just being a bit weird, basically. Thank you for asking. Next question. Another question, what is my new part-time job? Is it retail or for a company? Yeah, so it's for a company. They don't have a shop floor. It's kind of like a warehouse and it's online delivery, so I help out in like the warehouse slash office. It's a small business, so they've got like both in one. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this lipstick. We'll wait until I put it on. I think it's really matte, so I actually might start with a lip balm. MUA, really affordable, but if I do start with a lip balm, I've got one in my pocket. Just because it's so matte, I find it easier to put it on if my lips are a little bit like balmed up first. Oh, something happened there. Ugh, I think I've had this in my pocket for too long. Okay, I'm gonna wait for that to not be so warm, and I'm gonna try and push that down. I really like that lip balm as well, so I hope I haven't ruined it. What are my favorite makeup brushes? Oh, interesting question. So I use a variety of makeup brushes these days. My friend MJ has a very nice makeup collection. I really love this foundation brush if I'm using a foundation brush. Also, this brush from MUA is one of their like eyeshadow brushes, and I absolutely love this. I'm always using it. E10, so I love using that. I use that pretty much every day. I also like Spectrum. I really enjoy these, and I think they're often on offer in Superdrug, and they're really good quality too. I don't use many makeup brushes. I've gotten a lot more into the habit of using my fingers lately rather than using brushes. I think we've all gotten a bit lazy with makeup since COVID, haven't we? Those would probably be my favorites. I don't mind Eco Tools, but I don't use a lot of theirs. I don't always find it that great. I think with makeup brushes, because they are such a staple, it is good to invest in them, and I wouldn't worry too much about if they are plastic because you will have them for a long time. It's better that they're good quality. That's my thoughts on the matter. Maybe you disagree. I know Lush do makeup brushes too, but I've never used them. I can't talk and put on lipstick, can I? I don't know why I'm trying to do this. What is the one product I absolutely can't live without? Mine, okay, like one product, that's just too hard. Like we're talking about makeup, it would 100% be a lipstick. I just wouldn't want to live without lipstick. And I feel like lipstick's exciting because you can also put it on your cheeks and your eyes, so you can get a lot out of it. I wouldn't choose this lipstick. This is definitely too much of a statement. I'd choose like a browner one. I like a brown lipstick. I just really wanted to use this lipstick because I found it earlier when I was looking through all of my products and thinking, oh, should I give this one to Serena to give to her little one? And I thought, no. I want to play with it a bit more and then make a decision. Let me know what you think of it. I feel like this is something I'd wear on an evening out. That's why I've gone for like the golden eye makeup a bit as well. I feel like that goes well purple. I'd definitely say lipstick because I find it really multi-purpose product, and I'd probably go for a nice brown one. But really I should say something like multi-purpose balm or SPF or something, but I'm gonna go for lipstick because that's more fun. My housemate has sent me a question saying, is your housemate single? She's fit. She is single. She is fit. Which product is the hardest to find a good vegan alternative for? I find that one quite a difficult. Have I already put a highlighter on? Put on a bit more. I find that one a bit difficult to answer just because I've been vegan for so long. I'm just used to having the stuff available that we've got available, you know? I'd say wine's still difficult. Like when you're out and about, I find it really frustrating how most restaurants don't label their vegan wines, and that's really behind. So that annoys me. What else? Yorkshire puddings. I wish there were more vegan Yorkshire puddings and more vegan like fish. I'd love a vegan tuna steak. Beauty wise, I feel like I've got more than enough, so I'm not gonna go anywhere on that. But food wise, yeah, I'd like a good like tuna steak. I'd like just a bit more fish, I feel, in life. Do I ever want to get married? Depends, who's asking? God, I don't think so. I do not think so, to be honest. It just seems like such an outdated tradition, and it's just very patriarchal, and it's just like very patriarchal. I can't say this word today, the patriarchy, damn it. Yeah, no, I don't like the idea of women moving ownership from like your dad to your husband. If you look at how like a Christian wedding ceremony is, which is like what I've grown up going to, I do not like it. I'm also not religious, so that's another reason not to. And my parents were never married, so it's not really something I've grown up around. I feel so sorry for kids with like married parents. You have to get them like anniversary presents and stuff. Weddings can be fun. My sister got married last year and absolutely loved that. It was great. I didn't love being a maid of honor actually. There was a lot of responsibility there, but the fun stuff was fun, as is life. I don't see marriage being for me. I wouldn't want to take a guy's surname. I just don't really want that in life. I'm also like a Sagittarius, so I hate commitment. What else? Why else don't I want to get married? I'm also not really rich. I don't think I could afford it, basically. I think it'd be a long time off before I can afford it. However, I would love a wedding dress and all that attention. So if you do ever find me getting married, that would be why, for the dress and for the attention. I feel like weddings are one of the few times in your adult life you can really get people to just celebrate you, which I find really weird. I find that really fascinating, like the way you can do like hen do and stuff. You just like can really get people away to celebrate you. I feel like you can kind of do that on your big birthdays as well, but I think it's because weddings are just like this once in a lifetime thing. I just find the whole culture around it just really fascinating, and I find it quite frustrating how we celebrate weddings more than like other life events. It just seems very disproportionate. So basically no, I do not see myself getting married. Someone asked, why did you move to Essex with your sis and then to London again? I was living with my boyfriend last year till September in Greenwich. We were renting there, but then that contract ran out and we were talking and we kind of wanted to go traveling, but we also wanted to save up. And it turned out my aunt and uncle had plans to go traveling. So we decided we'd house sit for them for the 6 months they were away, and after they got back, we'd go traveling. So we moved to Essex to do that. So that was in like September 2019. And then in like March, I think, me and my boyfriend broke up, and then COVID hit, so my aunt and uncle had to come back, and then I wanted to spend lockdown kind of like with my sister rather than my aunt and uncle, because she had a spare room and it was like close to where I grew up, because I grew up in Surrey. I decided to move there and stay in her spare room for a good 4 months. Then I decided I kind of needed to get back to life a little bit, so now I'm back in London and living with my best friend. That also helped. My best friend was like wanting to move as well, and we both were just like, we should live together, why not? If you want to hear more about my moving, I have a vlog. I think I've really summarized a very complicated question there. I'm patting myself on the back. I feel like I've finished this look. What am I missing? I feel like my eyes could have been bolder. I don't know. I'm actually really liking this. Oh, it feels nice to have like dolled myself up a little, you know? Should I try and do a bit of a cat eye? No, I'm gonna ruin it. I can't do cat eyes very well at all. Put on some powder. Do you know what? This brush, it's got hair on it. When we were talking about brushes earlier, I actually really like the ones from Thrive Cosmetics, but it's an American brand, and they sent me some gifted stuff, which is when I got this brush. And then I tried to buy more stuff from them, and I just got a big like customs letter through in the post. It took a while to get through, and then when that happened they were like, oh, you need to pay this much more in customs, and these are the hurdles you don't really notice when you're being gifted stuff. I found that quite frustrating. I don't even think I paid the customs bill. I think it actually ended up being returned because I was just too flat out busy and totally escaped my mind, and I got a refund in the end. I really recommend the brush, but just keep that in mind when you're ordering, basically, because their products are actually really good. But I think that's something really important to know if you're ordering from the UK. I've got another question here. What would I do if I were sick and my sickness could only be solved with non-vegan drugs? I would 100% take the non-vegan drugs. I think that it's very different when we talk about veganism when it comes to medicine in general. When you've already got the animal testing, it's just not going to be vegan friendly, and that's the cold hard truth of it, and it's unavoidable, and your health comes first, and that's the end of that conversation, really. There aren't options there. It's not like we've got the option. It's not like when we're buying food or beauty where we have the option to do better for the animals. We don't have that option when it comes to our health, unfortunately. And I do sincerely think that will change, particularly because animal testing is just becoming less and less necessary. That's my thoughts on the matter. When you choose to go vegan, you are minimizing animal exploitation as much as like reasonably possible. And this is why it's stuff like, people say that smartphones aren't like technically vegan, but like I think that's getting pedantic, and I think it's important not to get pedantic about it and never let someone get pedantic and say, why bother doing all of this because you'll never be fully vegan because you can't do this like one thing. Hello, it's still so important to think for the animals we're saving by like changing our diet. Don't tell me that's not important. But you know what I mean, because I feel like we've all encountered people who try and make us feel bad because, like, I don't know, there's a bit of animal in your smartphone or in your tire or something, and you're just like, that doesn't eradicate all the hard work we do when we choose not to eat animals on a daily basis and when we choose to shop cruelty free. But it is all about doing what is feasibly possible. I know there are some vegans who would say, like, if I'm sick and animal products are needed to save my life, then I'd rather die. I just don't think that makes sense. I think there's still like a survival instinct. Yeah, I would definitely take non-vegan drugs but still continue to be vegan beyond that. Someone has asked me if BYEEEE are cruelty free. I think so. I'll give it a quick Google and see what's going on, but yeah, I know they're not fully vegan because I believe they do like a skin drink. Everyone raves about that, and I think that's got like beeswax in it or something, so they're definitely not 100% vegan. So both Ethical Elephant and Cruelty Free Kitty have confirmed that BYEEEE are cruelty free. As far as I can see, they aren't owned by anyone either. If you're wondering why I just never post about the products, I just don't use any of the products. I don't really have much rhyme or reason to it. I think at this stage I am at a point where I have a mammoth amount of gifted products. Ta-da! I even have more beauty products than this, so in the interest of sustainability, I am mostly going to be using products that I have. It might be a case that I've just never worked with them, and that's why I've not really tried their products. And I do feel like that is quite a tricky stage to be at, where like pretty much all the products I use are ones which have been gifted. And I actually say no to gifted products now because I actually have too many. Then on the odd occasion I want to buy a beauty product, I feel like I can invest a bit more because I don't have to buy all the beauty products, and I'm in a really lucky position that I don't have to buy like 90% of my beauty products. I know how fortunate that is. Because they're expensive, I spend a lot of money on beauty products. But yeah, that would be why I never use BYEEEE, because I already have tons of products already and I've never worked with BYEEEE basically. And now we're down to the final two questions, which is good because I am totally ready. I haven't paced this out well at all. But we have a question on dating as a vegan. So how do you negotiate dating as a vegan? When to tell non-vegans? I feel like most people I date already know I'm vegan. I don't keep it secret at all. Probably at least come up when someone be like, so what do you do for a living? And I'd be like, oh, I'm a vegan influencer. Yeah, it definitely comes up early. Or if you go out for dinner, maybe it would come up then. I've definitely been in a place before though, like when I've started new jobs, where I've tried to like minimize talking about like being vegan because people just get a bit pissy about it. You just don't want them to be like, oh, the first thing you said was that you're vegan, and then be like, okay, funny. When sometimes it's like, well, the first thing we did was go out for dinner, so of course it was kind of fucking relevant. But people like to take the joke that vegans will always tell you that they're vegan. Men always like to tell you if they're football fans, you know, and what team they support. So what? I don't get it. I know people definitely have opinions on like dating non-vegans if you're vegan, and what I would say is that I definitely do date non-vegans. I think it's important that they respect that you're vegan. Like, that's paramount. If they don't respect it, they're just always making fun of you and really think it's stupid, and they're the sort of people who actually don't care about your beliefs and would probably like be lazy about the milk they put in your coffee or something. You just don't want to be around someone like that who disrespects you. But similarly, you have to hold respect for them not being vegan, which can be a bit more difficult. But the same way you want to be able to trust that they won't put dairy milk in your tea or coffee, you also have to refrain from putting like vegan milk in their tea and coffee when they haven't asked for it, even if you are going to be like, oh look, you can taste the difference. I think there needs to be a really big mutual respect on dietary difference. Typically, I found through dating, like the last two long-term boyfriends I've had were both meat eaters when I met them, and for both of them, after a year and a half of dating a vegan, they ended up going vegetarian. And like all through that, I'm never like preachy about it, but I think just like being around someone who's vegan and having like the odd conversation about it when they bring it up and they're interested in talking about it, I found that they like just really rapidly reduced their meat intake and increased their like vegan food intake, and learned a lot about just how to prepare vegan food, what vegan food even is. And in like a vegan propaganda sort of way, you're gonna be doing better for the cause if you date a non-vegan, because you can only make a non-vegan more vegan, right? If you date someone who's already vegan, they're already vegan, so like that's not helping the animals at all. But dating a become vegan and then you make them a bit more vegan, then you're helping the animals. That's my thoughts. She also asked about like it being tough regarding wine. If I'm like meeting guys and we're like gonna have like a bottle of wine or whatever, like when I was dating Tom, I remember at the very start I just kind of like explained to him how to find vegan wines, and it was often like supermarket owned brands. I'd say like, look, if you're gonna get a bottle of wine, look at the supermarket owned brands because they're much better at labeling. And then I just like went and shopped with him once and showed him like what sort of thing to look out for, and then we kind of just got used to what bottles we both liked and we had our like wines. But it's a bit more difficult when eating out. But when it came to restaurant dates, often guys, if they know that you're vegan, they're kind of like, oh, where would you like to eat? And if they're not vegan, they probably don't want to go to a vegan restaurant, but if they are keen, that's always great. But if they're not, then it's about finding places that, you know, label vegan wines. I find that really helps. So I would like say, oh, why not Wagamama's? Why not Zzz's? Because I know they label their vegan wine. So if there is anywhere local to you that, you know, has a good vegan menu but isn't necessarily a vegan restaurant but also has like vegan wines, then that is quite handy when you're out on a date. I'm a drinker. I like my wine, and it's quite nice sharing a bottle on a date, and it's really frustrating if you end up somewhere where they don't label their vegan wines. And then the last question I'm a big fan of. So someone has asked whether or not I fake tan or anything, or am I naturally this glowy? Or do you know what? One, I put on a lot of highlighter as you can see through this video, and also I feel like this camera doesn't do my tan justice, but yeah, I am naturally like tanned in the summer. 2 months a year I have a nice golden glow to me. That's pretty much the secret. I'm one of those people that just tans really easily, but we just don't get much sunlight in the UK, so I get really pale in the winter, and in the winter I do tend to fake tan because I do feel a lot more myself when I have a tan. I always feel more myself in the summer as well, and I think a lot of that is to do with like sunshine. I do just like sunbathing. I like being warm. I like wearing less clothing. I just like everything about the summer. So yeah, here is my finished look. I'm actually really loving these golden eyes. I will leave a link of all the products I used down below. So obviously everything was vegan and cruelty free. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've actually found it quite fun to do, so maybe we'll do another one sometime. Please do hit like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and you can follow me on Instagram. If I ever do another Q&A, that will be where I'll be asking questions. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.